Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna. Today is the last installment about my reactions to Poshfest and the videos that they did put out for us. The last video was about Data, the Ultimate Storyteller. I will try and remember to link it in the comments if you do want to go and see it. They had 7 key principles, and honestly, nothing was earth-shaking. There was a couple of good little things that I was like, yep, I agree, or okay, that's cool. But again, it was okay. Before we go on, I do want to sort of say to you, I know sometimes I come off, I seem, or at least I think I come off very negative about Poshmark and Poshfest, and I don't mean to be negative. Just because something isn't for me, it doesn't mean that other people cannot benefit from it, or it doesn't mean that other people can't have fun and do it. So I saw a lot of pictures, a lot of videos from Poshfest, and they did seem like they were having a great time. Getting together with people in your business can be very beneficial for you, especially if you don't have a spouse that's in the business and doesn't quite understand. I think it could be very beneficial for you because you know what? You go and you meet these people, you have a great time, and that will help boost your confidence and boost your initiative to get going on your business. So I can see how it can be very, very good. Okay. I do want to say that because I know that I've been I've been very realistic. I think I'm more a realist than I am positive, negative. I think I'm very real, and I just needed to put that out there because I don't want to offend anybody, because some people think I'm being negative and I'm really not. I'm being honest. And I see the positive, but I also see the, yeah. Anyway, forward. The Data, the Ultimate Storyteller. They had 7 key principles that they talked about. The first one was about I can't say the word. Monitor. I'll be okay. Monitor emerging trends. Absolutely 100%. But let's take it a step further and think, okay, you want to know what's coming up. You don't want to jump into a trend when it's already sort of full blown, because chances are the market's saturated already. But what you want to do is you want to start thinking ahead, and you can even think ahead about seasons. I know it's just early September. It's a little chilly here today, but you know what? In August, I'm thinking Christmas. I'm thinking winter already because I know it's coming. You could also sort of pay attention to, you know, what's going on in the world in the sense of entertainment, what concerts are coming up, what movies are coming out, and getting on that bandwagon as soon as you hear, oh, Beetlejuice is coming out, let's get some funky stuff. That sort of goes with that for that. So that's just being aware of what's going on in the world of entertainment in a sense. Also seasonal, that's also what they're talking about. Basically, they're just talking about being aware of what's coming up. So if the Olympics are coming up, chances are sportswear is going to take a bit of an uptick in sales. So it was very smart. They did talk about things that are on trend right now, but like retro sport and vintage sport, which is nice. But be careful buying that now because it's probably going to be saturated. Just saying. Number 2, they said think like a buyer. Absolutely 100% agree with your keywords, with what you're buying, with what you're trying to sell, with your pictures, with everything. Think, what will a buyer want to see? When I do my listings, I mean, I'm still tweaking them and learning and doing whatever, but I do try to answer any question a buyer may have before they ask it. That's sort of my motto, and for the most part, I do that. Once in a while, I do miss things because it happens, but that's why I do measurements. That's why I do care tags. That's why, you know, I try to, you know, photograph flaws, things like that, because you want your buyers to know everything, and that way it saves you time. It also helps them to find your item when you're thinking what words they're going to use, etc. An interesting stat that they did say is adding a video gives you a 35% increase of a chance of selling that item. So that's something that I can definitely, you know, bring into my listings is more videos, because it's something I don't remember to do half the time. I will do it if it's something that's sort of flowy or funky and I want to show that sort of fluidity or like a metallic thing. I do, but otherwise I don't use videos often. So I have to remember to do that. The next one, number 3, is they said commit to listing consistently. Again, 100% agree with this, but just know what your consistency is. Every day is absolutely the best thing you can do, but if it's every other day and you're consistent and you're always adding new things to your closet, that is better for you. It will result in sales eventually. As long as what you're listing is what people want. We always have to remember that. Then they talked about offers are your friend, and I agree again. See, being positive here, I agree 100%. I think what was my percentage, 77%, 80% of my sales come from offers to likers or offers from buyers. So absolutely use the offer system. It's there for a reason. What did they say about that? They said it's better to send offers closer to when someone's liked it. So an hour later, 2 hours later, at least within the same day that they've liked it. That way, it just increases the chance that you're going to sell that item. If you wait a couple of days, it just tends not to do the same thing. That is their words, not mine. They did talk about shows, but then they also sort of said, but we have to remember we're also a catalog business, which is great to hear that them say that, because not all of us want to do shows. However, they said if you do shows, it increases the traffic to your closet by 90%. And I know that I've said this before, that I will do silent shows because it does increase traffic afterwards. After I do a show, I get tons of shares, tons of likes, a lot more than if I don't do it. So it's actually a really good tool just to increase traffic. Hence why I do silent shows, which I need to get back into a routine with. If you're going to go live, and I don't know if this translates into silent as well, but they said to go for at least 30 minutes, okay, and to have at least 10 listings. So to me, that means have at least 10 listings in your tray and ready to go. And you want to use the brands that you're trying to sell to stand out. So if you have some Anthropologie, or if you have some Levi's, or if you have some Torrid in your show, put those names in the title, in the tags, on the poster for the cover photo of that, because that will help you to increase 41% increase of chance of a sale if you use brands in your title, as long as those brands are what people want. Always remember that. Always put that in the back of your mind. People have to want it. It doesn't matter. Number 6 was boosting visibility. So of course you want to be visible to the search. So you want to share, you want to host a show, you want to try Promoted Closet. They did do a stat with Promoted Closet, and I thought it was interesting because we have apparently 1.5 million registered Poshmark people. I don't know if that is Canada and the US or just US, but anyway, 1.5 million. And 70,000 sellers have had some success with Promoted Closet. That's not a lot of sellers. That's really it's not like half of people are doing Promoted Closet and they're going, yes, this is fabulous. Now, I have heard a few people say, yes, I love Promoted Closet. It works for me, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Fabulous. It's working for you. But for the most part, I'm hearing the opposite, where, you know what, I paid, it didn't work. I had clicks, it didn't work. Nothing sold, one thing sold. So I don't know. I've told you before, I can't do it in the States because I'm not changing my banking, and it's not here for me, at least here in Canada. When it comes to Canada, I will probably try it, just to try it. Because you know what? I like to make up my own mind about things and events and new features and things like that. So if I can try something, I will do it. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. The last one they talked about was community love, community success, and they're very much about the community. I get that. So if you share your items, share somebody else's as well. Don't focus on sharing others. Just do it a little bit. And you know what? I have Sidekick that does that for me because I do think it's important. It's just part of what they want you to do. That's the key. What Poshmark wants you to do, you need to be doing it. So if they want you to list, they want you to do a show, try silence. They're really easy to set up. I do have a tutorial on how to do that. try them and just see if it helps boost your stuff into the algorithm. They talked about, again, sharing in a share show. And you know what? I do have a question about that. I think it's a nice thing as a host. Yeah, you know what? It's part of community love. I will do that. But as somebody that will say it's not my show. Say I want an item in a share show. So I go to a share show. I want an item in there. I have to wait for my item to come up. I have to, first of all, be accepted by the host. I have to wait for my item to come up and blah, 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 and yada, 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 right? So I do that. How long do I wait to sell one item? Like, do I sit in a show for an hour and a half before my item comes up so I can actually try and auction it? Because that's not really a great use of my time, especially when it's only one or two items that may or may not sell for a good price. Would I be better off doing something else for my closet? So I don't have a lot of experience with that, so I can't tell you. I know some people pop in and out of the share shows so that they can sort of go, okay, mine's coming up, I have 5 minutes or whatever. If you have experience, could you please let me know what it was, how it went for you? Do you think it's worth it? That would be great. I would really appreciate that. All right, so that is basically all they talked about. So again, a couple of interesting things, but nothing earth-shattering. I do, again, want to say that, you know what, I'm not trying to be negative Nelly here. I think if you are a social person, if you want to try to go to Poshfest, absolutely go. I am not saying don't go. I don't know if it's for me. My social battery drains really, really fast when I am in a big crowd and I am surrounded by strangers. So it would really be hard for me to get into that mode and to that mood to be on all the time. It's just, that's my limitations. I know this about myself. Now, I saw a lot of videos, a lot of pictures from Poshfest. They look like they were having a ball, 100%. I think it's more of a fun fest event as opposed to an actual conference where you're going to learn a lot of things to help your business. I think you're going to learn some things to help your business depending on your experience level. I think for someone like me who is a content creator, the networking would be very, very good for me and for the channel. But I don't know if it's worth it for me. It would cost me a lot of money it would have cost me a lot of money to go to Nashville. Number one, I wouldn't have gone alone. I would have taken Paul and we would have made it a mini vacation, which, helps. But, it would have consisted of probably flying in Wednesday and not leaving till Friday. So that's 3 nights in a hotel, and they're not cheap. They're not a cheap hotel. I'm sure we could have found something cheaper, but then you would have to get to the actual venue and stuff like that. If Poshfest was closer, if I could drive there, like if it was in Toronto or if it was in Detroit and I could drive, I absolutely would think about going, because that would mean I could show up on the Thursday morning when it started, spend one night, and then book it home on the Friday. So there's a big difference there. I don't have to spend one night in a hotel. I wouldn't need airfare, and I could just go and do it. So there's a difference. I know that there were Canadians at this Poshfest. There was a couple of speakers, which I think is fantastic. There was also a handful of people that did win trips to go to Poshfest. Airfare, everything included, which is, again, fantastic. And if I won a trip or if I was asked to speak, I probably would go and do that. Not that I'm going to be asked to speak, because I think I'm just too real about Poshmark. I don't buy into absolutely everything they say and do. I question things and I want to know things that are going to help. Like, I don't know how to put it. I'm not a cheerleader for them, not blindly anyway. Anyway, that is it. How did I do with my listing this week? I'm at 35 listings that I've done. I have 5 more in drafts that I'm going to finish up this afternoon to bring my total to 40. Yay. So I'm happy with that. I have about 40 more in my death pile to do. So what I'm hoping to do is get most of them photographed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week so that I can go sourcing on Thursday at the bins. That's my goal. My goal is to go sourcing and to get those things photographed. And it feels really, really good. I've almost halved my death pile in this past week. I feel organized. I feel good about it. I put into practice those things I talk about. I had my templates, my drafts were ready to go. I uploaded my photos. So I got drafts sitting there ready just to be tweaked and done. So it makes me feel really, really good. The photographing went okay. I'm getting my process down, so that's good. I have to figure out a way when it's kind of dark and gloomy out. I need to bring more light into the room I'm using, which I can do because I do have more lights. So that's it. Learning curve, So that's it for today. It is Sunday. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm going to get my listing done and I'm going to get this uploaded and I'm going to take the rest of the day off. I'm going to relax and just recoup and think about my goals for the week. I think I'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to talk about where I think my business is going and what has changed over the last little while. Okay? Everybody have a good day and I'll see you then. Bye.